A few years ago, a friend of mine had really bad back pain. It was an intense muscle pain in between his shoulder blades at the top of his back. And so he went to the doctor about it, who took a look and then sent him to a chiropractor who did a little bit of work on that area, which seemed to help a bit, but the problem never went away. And so he went for further tests and eventually found himself on a treadmill with a camera around his ankles, looking down at his feet, filming him walking in slow motion so that he could see how his walk was affecting the muscles in his back, which was compensating for a problem there. Now, I've never had to think about the way that I walk, but maybe you've had that similar opportunity to stop and take stock and to really look at something that has become so commonplace, so everyday. It's a gift, it's an opportunity. And I know that hidden within the pain of lockdown, many of us have discovered that gift of being forced to stop and then able to take stock of our lives. Maybe it's only now that you've been able to do that. We've been able to appreciate things that we've previously taken for granted. We've been able to stop doing things that had become expected. We've been able to question things that we were doing in a kind of unthinking way. And all of that has got to be a good thing. I love the words that the Lord gives to the people through the prophet Haggai. This is Haggai chapter 1 and verse 5. It says, "Now this is what the Lord Almighty says, give careful thought to your ways." The word ways literally means a way, a road, a walk. Examine the way you're walking. Look at your life, he says. In the next verse, you've planted much, but harvested little. You eat, but never have enough. You drink, but never have your fill. You put on clothes, but are not warm. You earn wages only to put them in a purse with holes in it. This is what the Lord Almighty says, give careful thought to your ways. The Lord repeats himself. It's that important. Stop. Would you look at how you're living? Planting but not harvesting, eating but not enjoying, drinking and never satisfied, earning money but putting it in a purse with holes in it. Would you stop and think and look and learn? And here we are, 3 and a bit months into this strange online church community experiment that we didn't even know was coming. And there's plenty for us to learn. There's plenty for us to think about. Eventually, giving careful thought to our ways, I think, means that we'll have to look at some big questions as to what about the new do we want to keep doing? What about the old do we want to start doing again? And how do those fit together? But we thought it'd be great at this point just to invite you to pause with us and to take stock and to look at this online community that's being formed and to invite God to guide it. And as part of that, we've developed an online survey that we'd love anybody who listens to the podcasts, who reads the blogs on our website, who watches Bethel live on YouTube, the Sundays and the other material, the other content that we're sharing, to help us to do that. So we'd love to get a picture of how it's helping, what's not helping, if there are things that we could consider that we haven't thought of yet, if there are things that we're doing that we could do differently or do better or do more often or less often. And your voice is going to be really key in that. So please do be really honest. There's no embarrassment at all about what you are watching or reading or listening to, but we all learn differently. That's why there are so many different opportunities. But we just invite you really to help us to form a picture, to give careful thought to this as the Lord invites us to, and to see, are there things that we're doing that are just a purse with holes in it? And are there things that are doing which are really benefiting our spiritual growth and our sense of connection and communicating? And we don't want to ask that in a sort of a selfish way. We don't want to just use this technology to serve the community that already exists at Bethel, but to ask it in a generous way Are there more things that we could be doing to be branching out further? Are there ways in which our church could actually grow through this, both numerically and spiritually? So please do, if you can, take some time. The survey is going to be available online for 4 weeks. So please do plan to take a look at it. If you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be a link in the description below. Equally, if you're listening on Podbean, there'll be a link in the description below, or you may have just found this through the blog, in which case it is just below. But either way, please do engage with it. It'd be really helpful to hear from you. And prayerfully, let's together consider our ways so that the Lord can help us to form this virtual community that is growing. Thank you so much. God bless.